The good old catch-22. I need more clients. I need to grow my client base. Everything I'm doing isn't getting me to where I want to, but I can't afford to be able to pay someone to do it for me or to be able to learn from somebody. And therefore, we get stuck in a loop. On one side, you want help. You want someone to be able to show you the right way. You want to be able to model someone. You want to be able to fast track. But on the other side, the fear, the doubt, the uncertainty keeps you going, I probably can't do it. And the problem more so isn't that you can't afford it, it's the belief you have in you to, can I actually do what I'm supposed to be doing? Will this actually really work out? And if you could change the number of clients that you were getting right now, and you knew for sure, like if your certainty was 10 out of 10, then of course you would do this thing over here. And that's the loop. That's the catch-22 that so many people get caught up in. So I want to be able to share this with you. So when we think about it, we think about it like this. When you first begin, you begin very much all by yourself. And you do everything on your own. So really, most things stay the same. Because if you could have changed it, you would have already changed it. So you go from doing everything yourself to going, now you've got too many hats. You got the marketing hat, you got the delivery hat, you've got the sales hat, you've got the putting out the fire hat, you've got the leadership hat, you've got the team hat, and therefore what suffers? Consistency. And when you're not consistent, results suffer also. So then you go from, okay, I can't do it all by myself, and I can't wear all these hats. I've just got to do the things that I'm good at. That you then rely on other people. And that's fine, but the biggest problem with relying on other people is A, it's expensive because you're paying for their expertise, but B, you're not learning how to fish. They're fishing for you. So as soon as you decide this isn't working anymore, or I don't want to go down this path anymore, or I'm tired of paying for this, you don't have anything. You've got no frameworks, you've got no systems, you haven't been fishing for yourself. So therefore, you go back to square one. And that's why when we talk about the thing we want to be able to build is our own system, this client acquisition system. So to be able to do that, you've got to make sure that you understand strategy. You've got to have accountability so you stay consistent. You've got to get rid of some of the hats that you're wearing. Because if you go in your business right now, there are probably only 3 things that are most important to you. Right? The first one is, how do you attract? Like, how do you bring people into your pipeline? Right? How do you bring people into your world, into your audience? Now, you should have at least 3 different ways to bring people into your audience that preferably don't rely upon you. So if it relies upon you going to networking events, if it relies upon you having to do it, and the day that you want off, the day that you're sick, or when you go on a 2-week holiday, what happens? Generally, nothing. So you've got to ask yourself, well, what ways right now do you use to be able to fill your pipeline? So that means you're adding people to your CRM, people who actually have the pain point that you solve every day, and preferably without you having to think about it. If you got up today and decided that you were going to go do a 6-hour trail walk through the bush, would you still get people into your pipeline today? And the answer is no, you don't have a system, because a system should work without you. So that's the first thing you've got to think about. What are you doing every day that brings new people and people who actually have the pain point that you solve into your pipeline each day. So then the second part becomes great. What are you doing each day that educates, that nurtures, that converts prospects into clients? So you bring people into your world, and that's great. But the majority of people aren't ready to buy right now. In fact, we talk about all the time, in your world right now, you've got what we call grey people. They don't have the pain point that you solve. They're not looking for a solution from you. That doesn't mean that things won't change. 3 months, 9 months, 18 months. Then you've got red people in your world. These are people who have the pain point. It's just not a priority right now for it to get solved. That doesn't mean that that won't change and the priorities won't change. Then you get yellow people. I've got the pain point. It is a priority. Maybe they've got a roadblock or two. Hey, I'd love to be able to buy another investment property. I've got to get the tax return done first. That's a typical yellow person. There's pain point. They want it solved, but there's just generally a roadblock or two, so it might take them a month or two to get that sorted out. Then you got green people. I've got the pain point. I want it sorted out. It is a priority. Are you a fit or not? See, the majority of people, when they go to attract people into their pipeline, they think everyone's green. So if you showed any interest, you should be ready to buy from me right now. The thing is, no. There are like 2% of green people at any given time. So you've got to have ways that allow you to turn grey to red, red to yellow, yellow to green, green into client. And again, without you having to do it day in, day out. So that becomes the second thing that we need to have in place. Not only do we need to attract, we now need to be able to educate, nurture, and turn people who were interested into clients. Then the third part becomes, how do we deliver in a way that gives us raving, ranting fans that constantly talk about us, that constantly want to share us, that constantly are passing referrals to us. And no, it's not a matter of, well, if I do a good job, someone will refer. You're supposed to do a good job. It's not like the feather in the cap. That's the service you provide. And if you're not doing a good job, then the absolute opposite happens, in that they'll go tell everyone how useless you are. But not necessarily will they tell everyone how great you are just simply because you do a good job. So when we talk about that, we talk about you have within your brain two different sides. You have a logical side to your brain. It is the red brain. Then you've got a feeling side to your brain, and that is the green brain, the limbic brain. Cortex brain, limbic brain. And if you're not delivering in the right side of your brain all the time, you are not going to create ranting, raving fans. So when you think about, okay, I really want more clients, what you actually really need isn't a lead generation system. What you actually need is a client acquisition system, which allows you to be able to bring people in, to be able to warm them up, and to be able to then deliver in a way that they become your best advocates. And if your marketing is not doing that for you, then that's why down here it feels like growth is nowhere near to the extent that you want it to be. So let's simply do this. I want you to just go, okay, right now, what am I actually doing to attract? So let's think about it. Let's write it out. If you go, okay, attract is bringing new people into your world. So posting on social media is not attracting. They're already in your world. Going and putting new people onto your social platforms, that's attracting. So I want you to write down what things do you do to attract. Now, for some of you, you might only have one. You might actually have none. I ask my clients for referrals. Okay, that's an attract. I go to networking events. Great, that's an attract. I run ads. Perfect, that's an attract. Then, what do you do to be able to nurture, educate, which helps you to convert? Write down your things. So you might go, I put up social media posts. I run events. I send out emails. And then finally, what things do you do that makes somebody feel absolutely cared for and appreciated as your client so that they become a ranting, raving fan? What sort of things do you do? Write them down. Now, this gives you a great starting point to what things do you have in place right now in a client acquisition system versus what things don't you have in place? And where are your gaps? And then from there, you can simply look and you could just simply go, okay, where in these 4 little phases do I sit? Am I having to do everything myself? Am I just simply inconsistent? Do I have some? But I only have one way to attract, not 3. Or I have one way to educate and nurture, and not multiple. Or do you have a system in place? So really simple, if you're down here, you want to be able to improve it. If you're here, hey, you're on the right track. And if you're here, you're doing a lot better than most other people. See, the tough part's always this. You're great at what you do. Whether you're an accountant, whether you're a bookkeeper, whether you're a consultant, whether you're in marketing, whether you're a web, you're great at what you do. And you went into business because you love being able to help people. I know the majority of our clients, they love making an impact. And if all they had to do was work with their clients, that's all they would love to be able to do. But unfortunately, you're also probably the world's best kept secret. And not enough people know what it is you do, how you help them, and how you could make their life better. And that's the bit that you need to change. So feel free, shoot through to me what your attract, convert, deliver little system looks like. And always more than happy to be able to share some thoughts and share some ideas so that you can get to up here where A, you have a system in place, and B, you can make more impact to be able to help more people. Hopefully it's been super helpful. Look forward to speaking to you again real soon. Till next time, take care, and I'll speak to you real soon.